Kimba has voted. 452 in favour of a nuclear waste facility.
This facility will bring an alternative industry into Kimba that's not reliant on rainfall and will help us diversify and secure our future.
282, that's 38% against.
The facility may support some in the town, but it's not going to drought-proof the farming community. I mean, without agriculture in this community, Kimba's gone.
The Barngala traditional owners have joined the outcry.
I feel hurt, I feel disrespected. My community feels hurt and disrespected for this whole process.
Kimba is a small farming community on the Eyre Peninsula, 460 kilometres northwest of Adelaide. Dean Johnson has been mayor since 2014.
I guess one of the incredible things about living in a small community is that you know everyone, literally. A 10-minute walk down the street often takes 2 hours. Hi Michelle, how you going? Could I have my regular cappuccino, please? Oh.
In 2015, Kimba was presented with a pitch. The federal government was looking for a long-term site to store Australia's low-level radioactive waste. This generally comes from nuclear medicine, along with industries such as solar power.
Jeff Baldock, I'm a farmer here in Kimba.
Jeff volunteered his property as a site for the facility.
My wife and I went to that meeting. We came home and it sounded, I guess, one of those opportunities for the community that we thought was probably worth having a look at.
Jeff saw the benefit in another industry coming to town.
Agriculture is still our main industry around town here, but it's getting harder and harder.
Local farmers Peter and Sue Wolford headed up the opposition.
The first reaction was one of disbelief, I guess, that why would you be putting a waste facility in an agricultural region? Just didn't make any sense. That was just like a nuclear bomb was dropped on us at the time.
Kimba's been announced an agricultural town of the year. That's only a month ago. The next week we're the nuclear waste dump town.
The government is also looking for a short-term fix to store intermediate waste, like the nuclear fuel rods that are shipped to Europe for treatment, then encased in glass and sent back to Australia for storage.
So far in 6 years, there's never been a debate in this town with experts from both sides to discuss this issue.
We've had countless scientists and experts coming over to explain what sort of waste would be coming here and how that will all work.
When you go and buy a car, you know what you're buying. And I think you could walk down the street of Kimba now and ask people, what's actually coming to Kimba with this waste dump? I don't think you get an accurate answer.
The vote 2 years ago showed 61% of the locals were in favour of giving the project the green light.
It's exactly the same result that the same-sex marriage plebiscite that occurred at a federal level resulted in, and that was reported widely across our country and across the world as a landslide victory.
But there have been questions about who was eligible to vote. The poll was limited to ratepayers in the Kimba district.
We've got people that live closer to this site in neighbouring communities than the whole township of Kimba denied a vote or a say.
No matter where you draw a line, someone will be one side of it and someone will be the other.
On the other side of the line are the Barngala traditional owners. They aren't ratepayers and say they've been left out.
It's about consulting and all having a say and being at the table. We're not against development.
A month ago, traditional owners announced they were taking the government to court, seeking judicial review of the whole process.
It's very sad that the government's just trying to railroad it and just try and press ahead.
A site for the facility is still untouched, but Kimba is reaping the benefits of its nuclear adventure. The federal government has poured millions of dollars into community projects. Mayor Johnson denies that Kimba is a divided town.
I don't see that in town at all. We all gather at the same places, we all have community events that we're all at. I think the division is a journalistic invention, to be honest.
Of course it's a divided community. I mean, the reality is, ask the mayor whether he's come and met with people that have been opposed this and seen the impact it's had on them in their well-being. We've already lost people from Kimba. They've left Kimba because of this process.
Many of the locals didn't want to talk on camera. Those who did didn't mince their words.
This is an agricultural town and it's where the future food supply is going to come from, and we don't need nuclear waste here.
I'm definitely for it being jobs and development, getting more people to the town. We struggle for people in the district.
Obviously, if we had any thoughts that it might affect our agricultural produce or anything like that, we wouldn't even be considering the idea, because that's what our whole family is here doing. We're the closest people to it all the way around.
I know it's got to go somewhere, but I strongly believe it shouldn't be Kimba.
And I think that the short-term, temporary, intermediate nature of it is a real sticking point too, because how long is short-term? You know, how long does this go on for? Decades?
Yeah.
Or?
And can you guarantee that? What if someone changes their minds? I know, it's really, really hard. Yeah, and then there's obviously the NIMBY criticism, right? That no one wants it in their area, but this stuff has to go somewhere.
No.
Yeah.
I would have thought in Australia there's somewhere that's not agricultural and that's got not much else where it could go.
So just a bit of Australia that has no, like, people and stuff.
Surely. It's a big country,
It is a very big country with
Very
not that
big
many people in
country.
it. You're right. I think you just solved it. Kate's editorial after the break. But the Australian Radioactive Waste Agency did send us a statement regarding the claims made by the Bungala traditional owners. That statement can be found on our website.